From the same shameless people that brought you the iPhone 11 Pro early, today let's go ahead and take a look at the equivalent on the Galaxy Note side. Let's see this beautiful, absolutely remarkable rainbow color and frankly very nice design degraded into absolute filth with a tenth of the price and just a shameless replica. Always funny to see what they can do and how crafty they can be on a budget. So this is a $99 Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus with a 6.4-inch display. So it falls a little bit short of the official size. Ooh, and this one is pearl white. And the Galaxy Note 10 Plus has exceeded sales expectations. It's a given that it's going to, of course, receive a clone as well. The box looks nothing like the official one here. This is more in the style of the older Samsungs. Regardless, let's take a look at the product. So from the pictures, it actually really made me laugh just how, let's just say they tried their best. On the notch with the iPhone at first, they replicated it in the software, then they actually gave it a notch. With this one, they're replicating the screen, the little camera cutout on software too, seemingly. So it does have a seal, do not accept if it's broken, that I will not. And there it is. So again, the presentation is very lackluster. And ooh, it has a little fingerprint logo right there, letting you know that very likely it will have some sort of fake version of it. The Galaxy Note 10 Plus. And on first appearance, it does look like it. Like from a distance, you'd never be able to tell. Actually quite surprised how close they got the design. And let's peel that off. And look at that display. So this is actually a physical cutout on the LCD screen. Clones have really come a long way. And there's a very tiny speaker cutout up top. So the Note 10 Plus has a very small one as well. This is twice as large, but still, that's remarkable. Even the iPhone doesn't have a cutout like this. Even on the iPhone 11 Pro series, Apple's still sticking with it in the middle and the notch. So in a way, this is a little bit more advanced even. On the bottom, you have a chin. It's not as large as the iPhone one. So I'm very impressed. The hardware is good and it feels fairly solid. For $100, I did not think I'd like the design this much. And the back, so we got a quad camera. I'm not so sure about that one. Wow, looks pretty solid. They got the sizing of the camera right, the logo placement, and this one's even cleaner. It doesn't have the text down here. And one thing I've also noticed is that the way the back curves around the edges, they got that right. It looks good. Even on this side, oh no, there isn't a divot around the power button. That would have been some remarkable attention to detail. Now, the button placement, everything's correct. There's no power button on this side. Obviously, you've got a really chunker of a bezel, and the placement of the SIM card is on the opposite side. This seems like maybe an LED light or a completely false hole. I think these are completely false, like there's nothing behind them. Down here, ooh. So one of the beauties of the Galaxy Note 10 series is that everything is almost symmetrical on the bottom. This is one of the most symmetrical areas on a Samsung Galaxy phone ever. This does not get that right. Everything's moved downwards. But okay, let's power it on. Again, the power button's on the left here. It's so funny for me to see the little cutout up top. Okay, there it is. Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, powered by Android. What version? We'll see. And, oh, so the stylus, you actually have to put your fingernail inside of it to pull it out, and looks like it hasn't changed. It's still a metal piece of junk. No clickable actions or anything. Yeah, but it does work. It feels like you're scratching the screen. Oh, you literally are. It's leaving scratches on the screen from the official stylus. Nice. But okay, when it does work, there it is. So that's 6.4 inches according to them. The sizing is just a little short of the Note 10 Plus, but bigger than the Note 10. And I'm happy to report they at least had the official wallpapers on it. The iPhone 11 one was really lame. They didn't even try. Operates fairly well. It's got Bixby. I mean, wow, I'm impressed. This looks really, really good. It's a shame that it didn't come in the Aura Glow color, but even the white looks really good. It's got a pearl effect to it, like a nice paint job on a car. So let me go ahead and get this set up with Wi-Fi and we'll see what it can do, what it's capable of, and all those 4 cameras on the back. I'm excited to test those out, all one of them. So I've ran a Geekbench on both, and the clone is just about how you'd expect, a 1,108 multi-core score. So approximately exactly 1/10 which is roughly the equivalent all of them go for, all the clones. 1/10 the price, 1/10 the performance. Same 6580 processor. The surprising thing is it's actually running Android 9.0. So you're getting almost the latest version of Android on a clone phone, while some official Samsung phones don't even have the latest version of Android. That baffles me. The screen's surprisingly bright and has fairly decent angles, but obviously you can't beat the world's best display on a smartphone. So let's see how the stylus compares in function. The cool thing is it does recognize when it's removed and does bring up the contextual menu. So it doesn't work on the real one, and the real one doesn't work on this one. Completely different technologies. So the menu here, fairly similar, just an older version of it. And you have basically the same functions, so you can take a screenshot, draw on it, and obviously it's a lot more responsive on the real deal. Fairly decent latency over here, miles better though. Like this feels like you're drawing on paper over here, lagging behind. Then you have the edge swipe on this one. You can bring up the shortcuts, and same deal over here. So the software attention to detail, fairly close. Samsung's skin looks really good on this clone. And then of course you got Bixby, but an older version of it. Cool. All right, so I want to go ahead and test out the fingerprint sensor that they say they have in the display. Yeah, so they have the iris unlock, which is their really crappy version of the real deal. And here is that, so putting it down right there, if I put it anywhere else, it doesn't activate. So it has to be right here. It's vibrating, letting me know it's scanning it. Okay, we got a fingerprint. Let's test that out. And cool, it unlocked. Now let's test it out with my other finger, which also unlocks it. So yeah, this isn't fooling anybody. So just like the rest of this, absolutely fake. Let's move on to those cameras. I can't wait to test out all 4 of those cameras. Just by looking at it, it appears that the bottom one is the fake one. So that's the one with remotely some detail inside. The rest just look like a plastic stamp. But from far away, not so bad. I mean, it would fool some people. Oof, that quality though. Yeah, wow, that's terrible. And the front-facing camera. So this is the one I'm curious about. So is it this one right here? No, it's actually that little camera to the top right. This is just a cutout in the middle of the display that does absolutely nothing. Huh, interesting, but at least they tried. It looks similar. Cool. Let's go outside, get some footage, see what these bad boys, all 4 of them, can do. I'm filming with that front-facing camera. I'd say there's absolutely no quality to it whatsoever. Hello. Don't be shy. Would be surprised if it's even 2 megapixels. It's very, very blurry. No dynamic range whatsoever. The colors are just almost black and white on the fake. And I'm a little disappointed it's not coming from the pinhole camera in the screen. I think they could have done better. So, Albino Sugar Glider says hi. And front cameras are a bust. Let's go to the rear. And the rear sensor, which I'd estimate is about 5 megapixels, but records at 15 frames per second. Just looking at it through the viewfinder even, terrible. Colors are muted, dynamic range, non-existent. So props to Samsung. They've done some amazing work with their cameras. Absolutely love it. And you cannot compare with a clone. I think nobody buys this to actually take pictures on it, but the 4 cameras was certainly a lie. I'd say the design overall does check out on these clones. I mean, it looks good, aside from being a little chunkier. Most of the colors line up on the borders, but the back would be nice to have here, although I don't see anyone using it that much, so does it really matter? Okay, let's go back and take a look inside, see what new manufacturing techniques they've incorporated in this clone. Unlike the iPhone back, which is glass, this one is plastic, and from factory it's already sort of peeling off, so they made my job a little bit easier here. Held on with adhesive and a prayer, and there it is. Actually, one of the most boring interiors I've seen. You have a micro SD slot right here, easily accessible if you wanted to upgrade it, and a fairly large battery, 2600 milliamps right here. Otherwise, very, very boring. Obviously, 2 fake camera lenses. These aren't even lenses, they're just little divots in the plastic Absolutely lazy. I mean, how hard would it be to make at least a dual lens clone? No one's even done one to this day. Bare minimum. And very easy mechanism here. So no wonder this thing is so heavy. It actually does have cast metal everywhere inside, adding to the weight. Considerably heavier than a larger phone, the official one. Okay, so nothing to see inside. This is a pretty decent one. I feel like they tried fairly well. They gave it the latest version of Android. Could have been worse. And it's a bit charming, you know? This could have been worse up here too. At least they gave it a similar look to the real one. Obviously, not fooling anyone. Should you buy it? No. As a toy for someone, maybe, but it isn't gonna fool anyone in the real world. All right, so there it is, the $99 Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus versus the $1,099 Note 10 Plus. No comparison, but you do get 1/10 of the phone for 1/10 of the price. So for some people, you know, it could work. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Do not buy the Galaxy Note 10 Plus clone.